I have to share one story, because I had neighbors. I live in an apartment, and the neighbors next door, we share the common wall. They were a young couple, and they were really sweet and really nice. And towards the end of their lease, they were they were having parties. They were staying out, like right out in the front door on the patio and partying till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And that was fine. You know, I just put in earplugs, and I thought, let them have fun. And I thought, and I listen to you every morning, and I watch YouTube. I'm always plugged into you. And I thought, well, I don't know if they're Abraham followers, but I think at least they're getting it through. They may not realize it, but it's getting through the walls. I
want to say to you, none of you are Abraham followers. You are Abraham leaders.
Leaders, okay.
Because it is your question that calls us to where you are. And so you're leading this game.
Yeah. And it's
just
true,
as you knew
and
you
we
would.
are such creators. It's just so amazing, and it proved it today. Because I said, you know, I would really love to have a neighbor that is closer to my age. Female would be nice. If we could be friends, that would be great. Somebody that was quiet and respectful. And sure enough, that's what I got. And I thought, well, this is really cool. But we never really see each other because, you know, that's just the way life is. If you're not coming and going at the same time, you go in, you close your door, you live your life. You're really not aware of neighbors around you much anymore. Well, I'm sitting in here, a couple of rows back, and I see this woman come walking across the room and sit down. And it's like, son of a... And I got up and I walked around and I sat right in front of her and I said, do you know me? She didn't even recognize me. And she's like, well, God. I said, I'm your neighbor. We share a wall.
No loud music.
But it is just so, if we could remember the moments when we know we did it. I think that's the problem. We keep discounting our own abilities.
But you see, once you know what you know, and you do, did you sign the disclaimer that says you can't go back?
Yeah.
Once you know what you know, now you begin noticing your setting up of it.
Yeah.
You begin noticing when you consciously gave birth to it. Now, we want to say to you that sometimes what you want to say, I thought the thought, or I made the plan, or I set the goal, and we say, did you? Or was it part of that manifestation that came from that broader perspective? In other words, let's not split hairs over where the thought originated, who was joined in on it. What you are is the receiver of it. What you are the perceiver of it. What you are the interpreters of it.
Does that happen? Because meditation, I keep thinking I really suck at meditating because every
before
time I do.
Before you go there, before
Okay.
you go there, we want to finish this thought out.
Okay,
because
go.
we really want you to feel. We want you to feel what's going on here. So, in the wobble-free zone earlier on, you're more aware of the universe's assistance in the orchestration of the path that is unfolding for you. And so you want to call that the setup. We think that's a good name for it. We want to call it your first awareness of this path that you are now setting out on. And then as other pieces of the trail come into place, don't you just love the idea of following your bliss? Mm-hmm. Don't you like knowing that because you asked for it, it's already done, and now you just get to follow the inspiration for the satisfaction of being on the journey? You see, most humans still misunderstand. You think that you're here in order to get stuff done. It's not to get it done, it's to enjoy the deliciousness of the doing of it. Mm-hmm. It's for the fun of and the clarity and the fulfillment of the pieces dovetailing. Mm-hmm. In the same way that we don't want to talk to you about the physiology of your body because you would get so bored before you would get to anything that would be meaningful for you. We just want to say, your emotions tell you all you need to do, pay attention to them. That's the entire medical, physiological conversation that we want to have to you. Feel good and you are. And so in the same way, we cannot possibly explain to you all of the details of all of the co-creating that are going on. We want to say to you that infinite intelligence is infinite and really, really good and on your team. So when life has caused you to identify that you want something, all resources move toward the fulfillment of that for you, for us, For you, for all of us, because there isn't anything that you ask for that doesn't take everything forward. You're the leading edge of all of it. Do you understand that? So when life causes you to become more, even if you haven't become more all the way, you've just become more with the request, Source gives undivided attention to the request, and all resources, the energy that creates worlds, moves in the direction of the fulfillment of that. And in your wobble-free zone, you pick up on it. You feel the setup. You feel the impulse. You follow that impulse and that impulse. And you begin watching things unfold for you. Every place you go, there's a parking place waiting for you right up front. Every place you go, there's someone there to greet you with something important for you to receive. Every single interaction of your life has the potential of revealing to you yet another way to know that you are on your path. There's no reason for you to ever be off your path if you care about the way you feel and you've practiced feeling good enough to know that you're on your path. But sometimes people haven't practiced feeling good. They don't know they're on their path. They feel bad. They can't tell if they're on their path, if they're not on their path. And now they're trying to control conditions and circumstances and others in order to make themselves feel good. That's hard. That's really a hard way to go about it, you see. Inspired living. Watching for the setup, being aware of it, and then seeing where it leads. Acknowledging it. All through the day. Oh, that was really good. Oh, that was really good. Oh, that was really, 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 really good. That's really good. It's really good. Oh, that was good too. That was really good. That was really good. That was really good. And taking credit for your responsiveness, for your awareness, for your perception, for your perspective, for your being. So, aren't you lovely? You're willing to bang around. You'll bang around in bigger contrast and you'll launch rockets. And Source is then on it. The question is, how long are you going to bang around in the contrast, and how soon are you going to get on the path that Source has already plotted for you? And the answer, and how well are you going to stay on the path? How well are you going to understand the path? How pleasurable is the path going to be is really the question. And the answer to that is, what's my filter? What's my limit? How bad am I willing to feel before I'll meditate again? How far away from who I am I willing to go? How many groups, how many dysfunctional groups am I willing to become a part of in order to justify our existence and rise up against the happy man? Oh, those happy, rich, successful people. Yeah. Well, we're taunting you a little bit because all of you do that to some extent. But you'll never do it again and not recognize what you're setting up. In other words, there's all kinds of trajectories you can tell. If you're on the you're not ever going to have a happy ending to an unhappy journey. Yeah. And if it feels unhappy now, hang on, it'll get worse. Oh yeah, this has really been bothering me. I'd like to talk to you about this thing that's really been bothering me. Why? Because it's not bothering me as much as I believe that it potentially can. I don't have a lot of momentum going on this thing that's really bothering me, and I think that the more people I talk about, the more it will wobble and the worse I'll feel. Yeah. And I so want to justify my existence through my pain. And we're being spiritually sarcastic. We're making the point. You're getting it, yes?
Yes.
Something more?
No.
Yeah,
That's
really
wonderful.
Good.
Thank
really
you.
Good.
Thank you.
Really good.